This was the first time the man played video games with his girlfriend. He was very pleased with his performance, but just as he was about to increase the difficulty, a group of federal agents suddenly burst into his home. The man looked confused. He tried to ask what was happening, but the police gave him no chance to explain. They pinned him to the ground and quickly handcuffed him. The police soon found 120 kilograms of flour in the man's house, along with over $3 million in cash, and even 2 illegal heavy weapons facing the charges. Jimmy wasn't worried at all every time he went to prison. His father, the head of New York's biggest gang, would bail him out, but what he didn't know was that this time he wouldn't be so lucky. The evidence chain was complete, and he was caught red-handed. His father advised him to plead guilty for the sake of the family. He had already consulted with the prosecutor. According to criminal law, Jimmy's crimes would carry a maximum sentence of only 4 years. Although Jimmy was unhappy, he had no other choice. He reluctantly agreed. Little did he know this would be the decision he would regret most in court. Jimmy offered no defense to the judge's questions. He openly admitted to his crimes, but to his shock, the judge sentenced him to 10 years in prison. Only then did Jimmy realize that both he and his father had been betrayed by the prosecutor.
Kidding me? You lied to me, Beaumont! You fucking lied to me!
7 months later, a guard brought Jimmy to the infirmary. Inside, he found the prosecutor who had deceived him and a female federal agent. Jimmy immediately sensed a conspiracy. The female agent explained that through her investigation, she had discovered Jimmy was exceptionally talented in prison. He had not only befriended members of every gang, but had even developed a side business. He was not only good at making money, but also had an extraordinary ability to adapt to any environment. The agent had come to propose a deal. They wanted Jimmy to get close to a serial killer who had murdered over 20 people. The police hadn't found a single victim's body, so the agent wanted to use Jimmy to extract useful information from the killer. In return, Jimmy would be released immediately. The offer sounded tempting. Jimmy knew that the prison holding the serial killer was full of mentally unstable inmates. He refused without hesitation before leaving. The agent handed Jimmy a classified file and told him to think it over. That night, Jimmy tossed and turned, unable to sleep. Eventually, he couldn't resist opening the file. The case inside shocked him. It was about a serial killer whose methods were extremely brutal and who only targeted young girls. Most baffling of all, even though all the clues pointed to a bearded man, the police had no evidence to prove his guilt. After reading the file, Jimmy didn't know what to do, so he decided to ask his father for advice. But to his surprise, it was his stepmother who came to visit. She brought devastating news. His father had suffered a stroke from the stress over Jimmy's situation. Now his father was critically ill. Hearing this, Jimmy knew that if he wanted to get out of prison quickly, he could only rely on himself, so he made a bold decision.